back to my channel. Hope you're all good. Welcome to another video. If you guys have been watching my latest vlogs, you know that I'm in Paris for a while with my boyfriend. Today we are doing a full glam, soft glam makeup routine updated because you guys ask me for this quite often on my Instagram, which if you don't follow, you should be following me on there. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you are just watching me. And for the oldies but goodies, let's get straight into the video. So I've actually already moisturized with my Kiehl's daily moisturizer, and I've got sunscreen on from Hawaiian Tropic SPF 30. So I'm going to prime my face with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I was one of the people that was very unsure about this primer. I took a little while to try it out, but it has steadily become one of my favorite primers. So I tend to take one pump, but a full pump, don't be shy. And I pat this in all over my face, on my brows, because my brows do get oily for some reason, I don't know why. And on my T-zone, and then just sort of put the rest on places where your skin doesn't really give you any issues. So I always pay the least amount of attention to my jawline, because it's kind of boring down there, nothing really happens. I just get breakouts when it's time for my period to come. For foundation, I'm going to go in with my NARS Radiant Longwear Foundation. I have the shades Macao and Tahoe. I know you guys know every black girl has Macao in their makeup collection, which we shouldn't. Macao is actually a little bit too deep and slightly too olive for my undertone, I would say. So I like to make sure to mellow it out with Tahoe, which is the right undertone, but it's too light. A few of you have said I should try Moria, but I'm not really interested in buying another one until I get through these two. One pump of Tahoe as well. Let me do 2 pumps of Tahoe. I normally don't end up using all of this, but I'm just gonna mix it and then put as I want on the back of, on my face, sorry. So once I've got that all on, I'm just gonna use my Real Techniques 200 brush and stipple this in. So I like to press the foundation into my skin. As you guys can see, the 2 colors mixed together are literally perfect for me. So that's what I like to do. And also I really like the coverage on this foundation. I think it's really long lasting and it really does not make you oily or greasy. You'll very rarely see me wipe or swipe foundation on my face, just because it really emphasizes texture, any texture that you might have, especially those of us that have acne scars or hormonal acne, any of that stuff. The moment you start wiping, everything just starts showing. So I just like to pat this into my skin, just so. I tend to do a very, very light layer on my forehead. People always get upset with me on this, especially on my reels. If my reels tend to go beyond my followers, they are so upset that I don't put foundation on my forehead. But it just makes your lace look really thick and it makes your makeup look super cakey. So I just don't think it looks good, basically. That's why I don't do it. I still have about a pump left on the back of my hand. Next, for concealer, I am going to be going in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer. This is probably my favorite concealer, only really matched with the Too Faced Born This Way. These two, gorgeous, really creamy, full coverage, and it is advertised as medium to full, but it's more full coverage to me. And also I found that they have Estee Lauder, one of my favorite brands. I must say I love Estee Lauder and I love the team as well. The full coverage one to me seems not as full coverage as this one, so I don't really know. I feel like this one should be called Radiant Full Coverage. I mean, this one should be called Matte Full Coverage, and then the actual matte full coverage should be called Radiant, because this one is just so much better. You can see how creamy it is. It's just so beautiful, and I've put a lot on because I love concealer. I want to look like, if you saw me going to the shop, you'd be thinking, wow, like she looks so good. Is she going to the club after? Yeah, I am, because life is a party. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I'm using medium deep. This is 4W. This is just one shade lighter, believe it or not, because my actual foundation shade in Estee Lauder Double Wear is 5N 1.5, so this is one shade up. I'm gonna blend that out with a damp beauty blender from Real Techniques, or a beauty sponge from Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna blend, focusing on the inner part of my face, not taking a lot of the product all the way out. So I'm actually gonna start on the outside and like blend that out first. Just like so. And then we're gonna focus on the inside. I'm gonna do the same here as well. Just taking only a small amount of product here. Then we're gonna focus really on keeping the coverage on the center of our face. I like to bring my concealer right up and down the sides of my nose, sort of like a reverse contour, just like that. And I also do my top lip. My chin. And of course, my forehead. Once that is done and you're happy with the blend, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Spiced Rum. Now this is very warm and very deep, much deeper than the one that I used to use. I think I used to use Toffee, which was only a shade, maybe about 2 shades deeper than I was, whereas this one is definitely like 3 to 4 shades deeper than I am. You can go in with any like dense stippling brush that you'd like, but I'm using the Real Techniques 200 brush to do this, and I'm just gonna push the product into my skin. I very rarely do like any rubbing, anything like that, so that gives you like a very neutral but soft and blended out contour, which is exactly what you want. Do the same thing on your forehead area. I just tend to blend out the edges of my concealer that I used on my forehead, just like so. And then just under your jawline. And I just normally do this because it gets rid of, like, if your foundation looks like a mask a little bit. So this is basically my base. Once you're happy with how you look right now, then I go in with a cream blusher. I learned from my very good friend Esther, Painted by Esther, to put all your creams down first and then work on powders. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Blush in Peach Caramel, which looks like this. Really nice, warm, rosy pink, which I think looks really gorgeous on black skin. So I'm just going to take another Expert face brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to, let me show you guys what I'm doing. I'm going to stipple my brush into the blush and then apply where I like my blush application, which is to follow my contour. Now, once I'm happy with everything and how everything is placed, I'm going to do a final blend with my beauty sponge. And this is just to get rid of any creasing under your eyes. And then I also just bring it down just to make sure everything is just really nicely meshed together. You can't see where one thing starts and ends. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Just like so. And now I'm going to bake, and then we're going to chat about what I use because I don't want everything to crease again. I really want you guys to see how a good under eye setting powder can just make or break your makeup look. Can you guys see how smooth that is? Okay, now that I've baked, I feel like I can talk again. So I used the Huda Beauty Banana Bread Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I have to stand up next to this powder, guys. I can't lie, like, I'm gonna stick beside them because this is the best powder I've used for my under eye. Like, I can't look at my other powders the same. I just can't. Like, we know, Laura, you're the GOAT. Like, I know, like, you know, I can trust Laura, but this powder, can you guys see I'm like almost out of it? Wow. You guys can see, literally, my under eye, flawless. So let's continue. I always use this, and I use the same beauty blender that is damp, and I just press it into my skin. As you guys could see, I make sure to press in places where I get oily throughout the day, which is really my T-zone and my brows. I make sure I run some powder through those as well. My next step is to set the remainder of my face, and I do that with my Too Faced Born This Way multi-use complexion powder in the shade Butterscotch, and this is my foundation shade with Too Faced products as well. And I'm just going to go in with my Real Techniques 400, which is a powder brush, and I just do the same while I'm following the same rule, which is to pat everything first. I pat and then I swipe afterwards. And this is normally the powder that I would put in my bag in case I need to touch up my makeup. So I kind of use this to dust off the powder just from the outer edges, just to make sure everything is nice and blended. And then for blush, I go in with two blushes. I think this one may be discontinued, so I'm really sorry if it is. But this is the Fashion Fair blush in the shade Pearly Paprika. A really good dupe for it is Matte Ambering Rose. And it just looks like this. It's like a rose gold tinted rosy blush. So we'll start with that first, and I'm using my Real Techniques 402 brush, which is very small but does give me a lot of focus and concentration when I am applying my blush. So I'm just gonna go on top. It's super pigmented, so you can be very light-handed. I then go on top of that with my MAC blush in Bright Response, which is an orange with a gold tone or gold reflex underneath it. When you first apply, it does go on very neon, but as you guys know, like with black people, like our skin absorbs a lot of this beautiful like sheen, just like so. And I normally put a little bit on my nose just to tie everything in, but a very small amount. Now onto brows. I used to be a brows first, but now I'm a brows for last. I literally just tweezed my arch, so this should be really easy. I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown. This is fairly dark. I don't normally wear my brows very dark unless I've got jet black hair, which I have right now. And this is like fairly self-explanatory. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see what I'm doing. I just draw a straight line up to my arch and then a straight line down, and that tends to be my shape. I don't want my arch that high, so my camera died, my light died, everything died. Anyway, we're back to the brows. So I'm going to continue with my pencil, and I normally fill in the top line, the middle, and then when I get to the front, what I do is I just kind of push, make little like strokes, as opposed to like drawing on the front really hard. And I do the same thing Then I will go in with a spoolie and just brush the product through. And then clean up under my brow if I feel like I need to. I'm gonna go in with my Lancôme Teint Idole Ultra Wear all over concealer in the shade 460 to clean up my brows. And this is pretty much my skin tone. So I just kind of use the end of the brush and just trace under my brows. And I blend that out with my Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques in the shade 300. I'm just going to put a dot of my Estee Lauder concealer just to give my eyelid like a little bit of brightness for when I put my shadows down. And you guys can see I'm literally just stippling, making sure not to create any like harsh lines because we don't need that. And I'm going to set this with my Huda Beauty powder. I'm going to then go in with my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter Gel, and I'm going to comb this through my brows, mostly through the front. And then for my eyes, I'm going to go in with my Makeup by Mario palette, which is the Master Mattes. My brown has cracked, so I'll just show it to you like this. I may do it with a little bit of gold, I'm not sure, because I do also have his Master Metals palette, which looks like this, which has like some beautiful golds in there. So I think I will end up using that bronze color. So I'm just going to go in with some of this yellowish brown shade, and then put that in my crease. I'm gonna just deepen that up. And then in the metals palette, I think I'm going to use this second one. I'm just going to use my finger actually, and just really gorgeous color. I normally don't put shadow on my bottom line, so I'm just going to go in with my MAC Magic Extension mascara, but you can use any mascara you have on hand. I don't really contour my nose. I instead do like a reverse contour, which was just putting highlighter down the middle. And then to highlight, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder highlighting powder in the shade Bronze Goddess on the tip of my nose and on my nose bridge, just there and there, and on my lip. And then for my lips, I normally go in with like a nude, a pinkish nude, or a coral warmer nude. And I'm using the NYX matte lip liner in the shade Club Hopper. I'm then going to fill in my lips with the Revlon Ultra HD matte lip color in the shade 630. And I'm just going to do one layer here. I'm going to go on top of this with the Studio Makeup Super Shine Lip Gloss. This is a French brand, I believe, so I'm going to try and find it. I bought it in Monoprix, but it's just a very gorgeous like orangish pink, which I think is beautiful. And I'm just going to go on top. Can you see it just adds like just a nice coral depth to your lip. Just like so. And then I'm going to go on top of that with my Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Ice. Just like so. Once I'm happy with the end result, I will go in with my MAC Fix Plus Coconut and just give my face a good spray down. Here is the finished look, a really classic, easy, full glam and beautiful look that you can wear both day and night. As you guys can see, because I built everything up so well, you get a very seamless finish. We used a lot of powder, still looking glossy because we used products that have sheen to apply sheen to the correct areas. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next one. Love you long time. Bye bye.